They sent him away on his 16th birthday. No cake, no song, no goodbye worth keeping. The sentence came through a cracked speaker in the transit hall. Exiled to Orbital Yard 9. Duration indefinite. Reason listed as civic burden. That was how the directorate erased people. No prison, no execution. Just distance. The shuttle was old. The seat straps cut into his shoulders. The window showed Earth getting smaller. Blue turned to pale. Pale turned to memory. His name was Vale. Once a student. Once a citizen. Now junk. Orbital Yard 9 floated in a dead band above the trade lanes. Too close to the planet to forget. Too far to matter. It was a graveyard of ships and stations. Hull plates drifted like bones. Engines spun with no fire. Satellites blinked their last codes to nobody. The shuttle docked with a sound like a cough. The door opened. The guard pointed. That was it. No orientation. No supplies beyond a suit and a tablet with a blinking warning. Life support limited. Salvage permitted. Rescue not guaranteed. The shuttle left. The silence stayed. Aaron stood on a rusted platform. Mag boots locked him in place. The stars looked sharp and cold. He did not cry. He breathed. He checked his suit seals. He checked the tablet. There were others in the yard. Older exiles. Broken ones. They lived in patched habitats welded to wrecks. They watched him arrive. They laughed. Another kid. Another soft one. Another ghost. He ignored them. Aaron drifted for days at first. He learned the yard. He learned which wrecks still had power. He learned which ones leaked radiation. He learned where to hide when the solar storms rolled through. He learned how to survive. Food came from algae. Vats left behind by a failed mining rig. Water came from cracked ice tanks. Air came from filters that screamed when they ran. He fixed the filters. That surprised people. The old ones watched him work. He did not complain. He did not beg. He worked until his hands shook. Then he slept. Then he worked again. He had always liked machines. On Earth, he took apart school terminals for fun. He rebuilt them better. That was part of why they sent him away. He asked questions. He broke rules. He showed flaws. The directorate hated flaws. In the junkyard, flaws were everything. After 3 months, he had a shelter. After 6 months, he had power. After 1 year, he had a plan. The plan was stupid. That is what they told him. You cannot build a fighter from scrap. You cannot make engines from wreckage. You cannot fly without certification. You cannot fight the void. He listened. Then he kept building. He chose a frame from an old courier ship. Fast once, light once, broken now. He stripped it to bones. He cut away rot. He reinforced stress points with layered plating. He welded by hand. Spark by spark, he scavenged thrusters from a shuttle wreck. He rewired control systems from 3 different nav computers. He wrote his own flight logic on a dead console. He tested it in vacuum. The first test spun the frame out of control. It slammed into a cargo husk. The nose shattered. They laughed again. He rebuilt the nose. The second test burned out a thruster. The ship drifted for hours before he reeled it back. He nearly suffocated. They laughed louder. He replaced the thruster. He adjusted fuel flow. He changed the burn curve. The third test flew. Not well, not far, but it flew. Silence fell across Yard 9. They started calling it Scrapewing, not kindly. Scrapewing grew. He added armor plates shaped from mining shields. He added a cockpit sealed with layered glass. He added weapons because the yard had many forgotten ones. Rail cannons from a patrol frigate, missile racks from a decommissioned interceptor, point defense guns that still remembered how to aim. He wired them all together. He calibrated them himself. He slept in the cockpit some nights. Years passed. He grew taller, stronger, harder. The boy became something else. The old exiles stopped laughing. Some helped. They brought parts. They brought advice. They brought quiet respect. Scrapewing became real. Then the fleet came. It arrived without warning. No broadcast. No challenge signal. Black holes slid out of fold space like knives. Unknown design. No registry code stopped pirate armada. They had learned of the yard. They had learned it was unguarded. They came for salvage. They came for slaves. The first shot destroyed a habitat. The second vented a power ring. Screams filled the channels. The exiles scattered, hiding, running. Aaron ran too. Toward Scrapewing, sirens wailed in his suit. His hands moved without thought. Systems came alive. Power surged, the cockpit sealed. The void wrapped around him, he launched. Scrapewing tore free of its moorings. Thrusters burned white. The ship leaped forward. Pirate sensors locked on him at once. A single small craft, crude, laughable. They fired anyway. Aaron rolled. Shots missed by meters. He cut thrust, spun, fired rails. The first pirate fighter exploded. Shock rippled through the enemy formation. This was not expected. They adjusted. Missiles streaked toward him. He dumped debris. He fired point defense. Space filled with fire. He flew like he built. Rough, direct, relentless. Scrapewing took hits. Armor peeled. Warnings screamed. He kept flying. He dove through the pirate line. He fired everything. Rails punched through holes. Missiles found engines. Fighters died. The yard watched. For the first time in years, hope flickered. Pirate frigates turned their guns on him. Capital weapons charged. He knew he could not win a stand-up fight, so he did not try. He led them into the junkyard. Wrecks became cover. Debris became traps. He skimmed close to dead holes. He cut power to vanish. He fled engines to bait pursuit. Pirate ships collided with drifting wreckage. They tore themselves apart. One frigate followed too close. It clipped a broken station spine. Its reactor breached. The blast lit the yard like a sun. Scrapewing flew on. The pirates grew cautious. Then angry, they launched everything. Aaron felt fear then. Real fear. He remembered Earth, the hall. The voice that called him a burden. He clenched his jaw. He charged. Scrapewings surged forward. Engines screamed past safety limits. The frame groaned. He targeted the flagship. Fire streaked past him. Armor failed. Systems died one by one. He kept one hand on the stick, one on the trigger. The flagship filled his view. He fired the last missile at point-blank range. The warhead hit the command deck. The pirate fleet broke. Ships scattered, jumped, ran. Silence returned. Scrapewing drifted. Power low. Hull torn. Errands slumped in the seat. Then signals appeared. Official ones. The planetary fleet arrived late. Clean ships, bright markings. They hailed the yard. They hailed Scrapewing. I link with visuals. A captain stared back, shock plain on her face. Who are you? She asked. Iron thought for a moment. I am Exile, number 7439. He said. The captain swallowed. That changed fast. Reports flew. Data spread. The story burned through the networks. A boy exiled at 16. A junkyard. A scrap fighter. A pirate fleet broken. The directorate issued statements. They called it a misunderstanding. They offered reinstatement. Erin did not answer. The exiles gathered around. They touched the hull. They smiled. The yard was no longer forgotten. In time stations returned. Defenses were built. Trade resumed. Erin stayed. He taught others. He built more ships. Better ones. Scrapewing hung in the center of the yard, scarred, silent. A reminder. They sent him away to disappear. He stayed. He built. And when the fleet came, he was ready. Asterisk.